What's the heaviest band? Without question, everyone here is going to have a different answer, but arguably, one of the contenders for the prestigious title has to be djent pioneers and low tune chungus aficionados, Meshuggah. So today we commemorate Toontrack's 15th Metal Month anniversary, and what better way than by trying to write a song that sounds like Meshuggah? God, that is like a brain buster. One of the things that makes this a little bit easier, at least on the production end, is that Toontrack has a ton of MIDI grooves, Easy Mix, and Superior Drummer 3 presets that can help us out on our journey. Am I teasing a future Tone Quest video right now? So that's the plan today. We're gonna try and write a song that sounds like Meshuggah, but probably dumber.
Stealing jokes now, are we?
Okay, so first things first here, let's talk about guitars and tuning down low, because I get this question all the time. It's always in the form of something like, hey, what gauge strings do you use for XYZ tuning? I want to walk through this briefly because I think it will really help you guys out here. So this guitar is an Agile something or other. The important thing to note here is that it is 7 strings and it has a 27-inch guitar scale. Now, the reason that I bring that up is because I'm trying to tune this guitar down to F standard. And when I do that with this guitar with the strings that are on it, we don't have enough tension to really get some deep, mean chugs. And the reason the string tension is important is not only will it be easier to play, especially some of these faster, chuggier riffs, but the sound is going to be much improved too if you have the proper string tension and your strings aren't just kind of like flopping all over the place, okay? I use a string tension calculator. Stringjoy has a really good free one on their website. You don't have to use this one. You could just do the math yourself if you want to, but this makes it a whole lot easier. Now, disclaimer here, I like strings with a little bit less tension. You're gonna have to figure out how much tension you like for yourself. The best way to do this is just to plug in the numbers for a pack of strings that you're familiar with, that you like the feel of, and then go from there. Okay, now if you're familiar with my videos, you know that I go through setups on pretty much every guitar I use in a video anytime I change strings or anything like that. For this video, I don't wanna keep it too much off topic, so I'm just gonna give you the cliff notes. If you wanna see the full setup on this guitar, I will leave it over on my Patreon. But the reason I even wanna do this in the first place is just to give you tips on things that you might need to know if you want to tune this low. So right now I am using a 72 on the low end. Problem one you are most likely going to come across here is the string not fitting into the nut. Now in this case, this string actually just barely fits in the nut. But if this was thicker, there's not much you can do about this. You just have to file this nut slot wider to accommodate the string. It's a lot of back and forth, checking, seeing if it fits, file it a little bit more, see if the string fits until you get it to fit. Do not file the nut deeper, just file it wider. The second issue you will come across with bigger strings, they will not fit through the peg hole. So what you would do in that instance here, you have to go through here and you have to find the windings on your string and then use a tool like a pair of needle nose pliers or something like that to unwind the outer winding and just use this inner winding. You can take this outer winding and slowly unwind it down to the point that you need to be able to fit through the tuning peg. Another problem that you might find yourself having is that you don't have enough room to actually intonate with your bridge here. There's not much you can do in this case. You can take the spring out if the note is too sharp and pull the bridge all the way back. You might actually have to cut the end of this screw if you do that, so that way it doesn't clamp down on your string and cause all sorts of other problems. But you can see I have quite a bit of room here, and we are in F standard, so it's pretty low. Again, just for a refresher, this is a 27-inch scale guitar. If you're trying to do this on a 25.5-inch scale guitar, it would be much more difficult. And then obviously if you went to full baritone, it would be easier the lower you go. Did we cover the scale lengths here? I think so. All right, I have a brand new Reaper track loaded up here, and I don't really know where to start with this song or with this video. I'm a little bit out of my wheelhouse here, which is kind of the point, if I'm being honest. You know, it's a good exercise. I'm using, like I mentioned earlier, Easy Mix 3 with the Frederick Thorndahl add-on pack. We're using the 2233 rhythm, which I'm assuming is based off a Marshall JCM 2203 amplifier, but you know, with probably like a Fortin 33 in front of it or something. You know, his thing is branding everything 33, so knowing that, you can go through some of these things and sort of figure out what they are. Like a 5133 is probably a 5150. I just really like this one a lot. There's a ton of stuff in here. We're gonna get into more of these later on, but that's what's going on with the guitars right now, just so you know. On the drum end, what you're hearing is the Area 33 SDX, and we're using the of 33 preset. There's a lot of 33s going on in this project here. You'll sense that's kind of a theme with Meshuggah. I normally don't go into these too much in these Metal Month videos, but for today, I think we're gonna. So I've collected an overwhelming amount of MIDI libraries. We have our Superior libraries, we have our add-ons here. And one of the coolest ones as it relates to this video, I think, is the Metalheads MIDI pack, because these are just straight up Meshuggah songs. And if you're like,
Man, bleed is so hard, it's ridiculous. I'll never be able to play that.
One of the cool things about this is you could always grab one of these MIDI, and you can do this with any MIDI, not necessarily just bleed, but I think it's cool to demonstrate this. So we could take the BPM all the way down to 60 with bleed. And if you wanted to, you know, practice to it, you need a metronome to count you in, probably. I don't actually know if that's how the riff goes, but I'm just doing this for demonstrative purposes here. You can actually take that and then just raise the BPM back up to its native BPM, and you have... But specifically as a learning tool, I think it's a really valuable thing to do. I'm not gonna go through the metalhead stuff here too much because these, like I said, these are just Meshuggah songs, you know, and I don't want to just take Meshuggah songs here. Let's go to, maybe let's try something in the progressive metal category. I like this a lot. Let's go with this thing here. And what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna open this up here so I can see the MIDI, so I know what to play. I'm gonna have to keep playing to this over and over and over again. That's okay. We'll just keep doing that. If at first you don't succeed, try it 100 times and you'll probably get a good take. Let's hear all that back now, and I will turn the metronome off for those of you that complain about it. Okay, I think it's close enough for writing a song. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar with this, I did do a speed songwriting workshop. It's available over on my Patreon if you're interested in that. But to give you an idea of my process and the way that I like to do things, I like to lay the foundation of a song out and get it done and out of the way at the expense of maybe not having the perfect take, because things will change during your songwriting process, especially if you're writing ideas with other members. So let's say you get this really cool idea out, but then your drummer wants to change something around. Maybe, you know, they play in a different style than this, or, you know, they have some cool ideas that they want to add to it. In my opinion, it's kind of a waste of time to go and get the perfect take when you're doing the songwriting process, because you're probably going to go back and end up re-recording it anyways. So I think you need a take that is tight enough to convey the message of the song or the riff that you're trying to do, so that when you go back later on and listen to it, because you're probably going to have to relearn all this stuff later on, when you go back and relearn it, you can relearn it accurately. So there you go. There's my 2 cents on that. It's probably 10 cents, but you know. Let's roll with that. Okay, I'm gonna move this over here for now. I want to copy this first one and do an alternate take. And then maybe we do this like, God, I'm really liking a lot of these grooves that are in this song right here. And you'll find that that happens a lot of times when you're using these Superior Drummer libraries. You get a certain vibe going and you're like, wow, a lot of these MIDI grooves that are in this family fit with this song. You know, it's almost like they did it on purpose or something. And now we're editing the play style, and I think I want the same beat. I just want more snare. Let's see what this does. This is gonna work for right now. I just basically wanted to bring up the energy, and then I'm gonna do a harmony, probably. Okay, I gotta play to this 100 times in a row. Okay, I like my riff, I think, more than I like this drum beat right here, so we're gonna make this kind of like our 𝗦𝗦𝗶𝗹 type riff. We're gonna change this here in a minute, so I'm not gonna worry about this too much. Instead of making this straight sort of polyrhythmic type beat, what I'm gonna do in here is I'm gonna go and I'm gonna try and find a fill. So we'll cut this up. I'm just like guessing. I think that's gonna work really well. Now what I wanna do is sort of change up this riff a little bit. So this is why I just looped that part, because I knew I was gonna come in and dissect this riff a little bit. And then we'll do a repeat of this first part, and then we're gonna do something to match the drums here. I'm gonna have to listen to this a few times because the timing's really weird. Cool, for this 𝗦cie part here, this is what we have. Actually goes right back into that pretty well. I think we'll probably do another one there. Just repeat that. And the second time we go into this chorus, let's not do this slow down part. Let's go into something else. So we'll repeat that second part. So it's like. Okay, we're gonna go back to drums now. Probably the best way to do this is get the scaffolding of the drums down, like I have done previously. I think this is what I'm looking for here, but I need to modify it to have some more snare drums. I think I'm just gonna modify this one by hand, and I'm gonna do that actually inside my DAW, and I can do it in Superior Drummer if you prefer to do it that way. I'm just really used to doing it inside my DAW, so let's do that. Let's start with this and let's just maybe see where we get. I'm gonna end up having to hodgepodge a beat together here, which is cool. Not a big deal. It's kind of cool. Let's do that. Maybe we are gonna go to the metalheads here. Let's use a snippet of this Meshuggah song, 𝗦ecie𝗰𝗶𝗹, and see what we could do with it. God, that is like a brain buster. Okay, I don't think it's as hard as I'm making it. Ah, it's so weird. I need to change that. I want to go and change these little things to follow the guitar here. I want to change the bass drum right here. And now we've made our drummer thoroughly angry. And again, if I was recording this for my final take or whatever, I would spend a lot more time cleaning this up, maybe like taping off the strings to really get those things tight. There's a lot of things we can do to make the performance tighter. But again, for the sake of songwriting and getting ideas out, which is what I think is the most important part of this process right now, is just getting the ideas out, not putting barriers in between your ideas and your DAW. You know, so for the sake of that, we're just gonna keep some of that noise in there. And this whole thing feels like it kind of just starts. Let's do some clean, dare I say it, but there's some really good clean stuff in here. These clean tones in the Frederick Thorndahl pack are some of the best clean tones I've ever heard. That's not me glazing or anything, it's just, they sound really good. I like this one a lot. If we click this plus down here, we can actually add an effect after the guitar effect here. So let's do that, and let's go delay. I like that, that's good. It's okay, it'll work for now. I probably wouldn't live with this like at a final mix or anything, but you know, it's good to get our ideas down. Like we know there should be something there in the beginning to kind of build up to this sort of heavy part. And then maybe let's change the drums right here too. Again, I'm just gonna edit these by hand. I know what I'm doing, I can do this real quick. You could go into Easy Drummer and like pick something out and really take your time finding the perfect thing, but I know what I want the drums to do here, and it's just have a lot of 16th note double bass drum. And the reason that I'm splitting these right here when I edit them is because then when I open up this MIDI editor, I'm not confused about what part I'm editing. Makes it a little bit easier for me. You know, do whatever makes it easier for you. We change these drums, so let's copy and paste those. Before this last course that we go into, I just feel like it needs a break right there. I'm just gonna try something kind of crazy. Let's, one riff, we're gonna paste it down here. And then we're going to, let's loop this so we could pick some effects, but. Actually, you know what we should do? We should make this a build-up. Dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. So we're gonna draw in a new MIDI region. We're just gonna edit this by hand. Man, these drums sound awesome when you listen to them solo. They sound so good. And then let's record the guitars for this little break. Let's just let this go for like a little bit there. I feel like this part would be more appropriate somewhere else, so I'm gonna move it to the side for now. And maybe we move this before the break. Make this double at the end here, and let's do some like droning over the top of it. I'll take this last little bridge thing out here. Oh, we gotta have bass. What am I thinking? The challenge that I have here is, can this bass hang with that guitar? Because this bass is not set up to play in that low of a tuning. But we're gonna try our best. Let's find a bass. Holy shit, that's heavy. We're sticking with that bass sound. All right, let's listen back to it, see what we have. So there you have it. I will put this full song somewhere. I'll leave a link down in the description. Hopefully I've shown you some valuable tools and inspired you to sit down and start creating your own music. Like, what's stopping you? Just sit down and do it. If you like this video, you know, do the thing so that YouTube knows you like it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.